Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren.
And I'm Ian, and this is our body weight practice where we'll play with our strength and invite you to follow along. We don't have too much equipment here. We have a little bit of room, and we'll start by getting onto the floor, check in with those wrists, the breath, prepare the core, and let's have some fun.
Let's go.
Ready to go?
Yep.
All right. So with those feet in parallel, super soft, let's just press the knees towards over the toes, and then just shift your weight maybe over to that left, and then through center, back to the other side. And what about trying to shift your weight even further forward, and then push the hips through? You can find our first toe balance here today too. Nice and controlled, press down to grow up. Kneecaps are straight, butt cheeks squeezed, and then slowly lower to the ground. Go knees over toes again, and this time peel up those heels, lifting towards those demi points or lunge foot here. And then nice and slow, could we lower ourselves to the ground here? But then we're gonna stand back up. So nice and controlled, back up. Shoot, Lauren, there it is.
It's already been two.
Two of them already? Oh, and then nice and slow. Watching ourselves online, we do pick up our Ianisms, we'll call it. Nice and control. Oops, here we go. We'll try to do it again.
Easy does it.
Easy does it. Knees over toes. Then try to find that crouching squat. Then this time we'll place those knees on the floor. If you need to use your hands, by all means. Then at the top, we'll extend those hips through the way Lauren is, get those space requirements just right, and then fingertips, calluses, full hand. From the all fours position, take a big belly breath in and let the belly fall to the floor. On your exhale, pull that belly to spine. Repeat, breath into the belly, let it fall, make room. And then exhale, pulling into the spine. Now into the chest again, breath into the chest. Belly should stay still and exhale. And then one more time, just screw in those hands. Take a big breath into the chest. And then exhale. From here, can we turn one hand up? So I'll flip over the pinky side, turning my palm up. Then from there, we'll spin the fingertips towards the center, and then slowly navigate over the thumb, pressing through so that my fingers now face more to the lateral or Lauren's side here. Then I'll roll over the thumb so the fingertips face away from the body. Then we'll spin that back into center. And when the fingertips are generally organized forward, roll over pinky to the thumb. We'll switch to the other side. We'll roll over from the thumb to pinky first so the palm is turned up on the floor. Then spin the fingertips around and then press through the thumb, anchoring the fingers to the floor. Then over the thumb, spin the wrist, and then back over the pinky side, articulating to the thumb. One last time each side. Turn the palm up, turn the palm in, over that thumb side, and press to anchor down, and then turn over the palm, rotate, pivoting on the back of the hand, and then fingertips find the ground. Last time, palm up, palm center, turn over that thumb, pressing through the floor, and then last time here again, over the thumb, palm spins, fingers organized forward, press through, and then push the floor away to our tall lunge, giving that a shake. From here, let's go back to those hands though. Check down, fingertips, callus lines, and full hands. Returning to that breath, let's pull the belly button into the spine, and then keep it there as we take big breaths in. And exhale. 2 or 3 more from the kneeling position like Lauren, from this tall position like me. The belly button is in, and we're breathing underneath. Exhale. Last breath, feel strong, support that spine. Big breath in, and exhale. Nice. From here, extend those hips, Lauren, get to the tall lunge. Let's organize in a lunging position. Check the hula hoop, check the Travoltas here. Let's level out those hips as much as we can. For about 8 to 10 here, now with that front leg, get to that demi point, and then try to finish with those toes. Back to the demi, and then toes. Press this back hip forward, pull that front leg in. Challenge that balance, nice and control, push through the floor to grow up and down, and last one or two. Then pull all the way through, extending that back hip, switching out those legs, address the hip hike, shoulders stacked right up on top of those hips. And then from here, go to that demi point or ball of foot. And then, this is my more challenging side, towards the toe point and down. Toe point and down. Keep squeezing that back butt cheek. If you have a friend or a chair beside you, lean on for some balance. Nice and contained. Oh, almost did that one. And as you finish with strength, we'll pull that leg all the way back through. And then, I think it's time for a mermaid position there, Lauren.
Nice. We're sitting on the floor, but let's actually sit down onto our bum. From here, we'll place one leg in front at that 90-ish position and one leg in the back. Because it's handstand class today, let's point our feet. Now from here, we'll just square up our chest or our sternum towards over that front knee. And even add a little bit more. Let's over-rotate, trying to rotate past that front knee with the chest sternum, but the head staying in line with the body. And then let that unwind and bring yourself back towards center. Repeat that again. Rotating open, light grip on the floor, that back hip's extended. We're trying to rotate over that leg and then gently back to center. From here, staying tall, let's for a couple seconds drive that front knee down and into the floor, externally rotating that front hip by pushing the knee down with its own power. For 3, 2, and then easy off. We'll find that outside elbow. Let's try to keep that front knee as heavy as possible in the floor, but keep that back hip extended this whole time. Thinking about that bottom shoulder, it's packed, our lats engaged, and that top arm just comes across our body. From there, our head will rotate towards the elbow or the floor, and then we'll close up our chest, squaring up towards the floor. Continuing to keep that back hip pushing forward, head will rotate open towards the ceiling, and then heart chest opens towards the ceiling. Keep extending that back hip. We'll do that one more time. Head rotates to look at the floor. Shoulders close up to look at the floor. Back hips extended. Head rotates towards the ceiling. Chest rotates up towards the ceiling. Take a nice breath there. Keep squeezing your back butt cheek. And then gently press the floor away. And we'll switch sides. So just unmermaid yourself to the other side. And find that same position here. That knee is in front of our body. We have our toe point. And again, we'll set up with the light grips on the floor. Nice long spine. Right now, that sternum towards that knee. But then add a little extra rotation, rotating away or over more. And then back to center. Easy or harder on this side. Rotate open. And then back to center. Again, for 5 seconds or so here, drive that front knee, pushing it heavy into the floor. Pushing it down, still growing tall for 3, 2, 1. Ease off a little bit and find your elbow. From that elbow position, we'll keep squeezing that back hip, pushing it forward, pressing that hip forward. And then that top arm crosses the body. Our head rotates to that elbow on the floor, and then our shoulders rotate towards the floor. Head rotates up to the ceiling, shoulders follow, opening up to the ceiling. One more time, head looks down at elbow, shoulders follow, closing up, and then head looks up at ceiling, and shoulders open up. Find center there, keep squeezing that back hip forward, and then just press through to tall. We're gonna do one last thing here that I missed on the other side. So we're gonna do it on this side and revisit. Let's take that front leg and can we gently work it towards straight in front of us. Right now, let's have the flexed foot. So the foot pulled to the shin and try to press that heel away from you. The kneecap's gonna straighten, that quad will straighten up. And then keep the knee nice and straight and try to point the foot. And now with that pointed foot and staying tall, could we rotate that leg inseam towards the ceiling with a nice straight knee, and then back to center, and then internally rotate or hide the inseam. Let's do that one more time. Externally rotate, inseam up, kneecap nice and straight. That may mean the heel leaves the floor, and back to center, and then internal rotation or that femur rolls in, and then center. From there, one more time, press the heel away, extending that hamstring. And then gently bend the knee, and we'll switch to do that same little thing on the other side. So from that merperson position, we'll extend the front leg out, and we'll flex the foot first, or pull the toes or the foot towards the shin, pressing that heel long. Probably get some hamstring action there. Now let's point the foot, and then again, in the socket, kneecap nice and straight, try to rotate the inseam up towards the ceiling. And then back to center, and then gently internally rotate that leg, and back to center, re-straighten as you do that external one last time, and center, and then internal, and center, and then one more time, flex the foot, trying to straighten that knee, and then relax. We'll bring that leg underneath us, do a little siza, and then get to our 3-point down dog. So if you flip just to your kneeling position here with your toes pointed out the back, let's put your hands on your own butt cheeks right now. With your right cheek, can you squeeze just your right?
I did my left.
Can you squeeze your left? Or your right, doesn't matter. Pick one. Now let's squeeze both of them at the same time, and keep squeezing them so much that you extend your hips through. You can take your hands off or keep them there. Tuck your toes, rock yourself back, use your hands or not. Find a low squat on your toes right now. Hold for a couple seconds. Then could we shift and try to find those heels towards the floor? And then press up out of that. Let's grow tall, find that balance, and hold. And then with straight knees, descend. Knees push back over the toes. Allow the heels to start to peel up as you keep descending. And then here, before we go down to the floor, could we find even higher on those toe points? Get even higher. And then we'll let our knees fall towards the floor. Extend the hips, untuck the toes, and sit. From here, we'll get to our 3-point down dog. So we'll place our hands on the floor, underneath our shoulders, and we'll first go out to our high plank position. So let's all step out to that high plank. Our hips are up, our butts are squeezed, our hands underneath our shoulders. For the first time, let's leave both feet down, but tilt our tailbone towards the ceiling and press towards that A-frame or down dog shape. Try to push your heels towards the floor, but keep your tailbone and spine long. Take a breath. And then pull yourself back through to that high plank. We're going to continue on, but with a 3-point. So as we push back this time, flick the floor away with a toe. Point that leg long, but keep your hips square to the floor. Reach, 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 and then pull back through to your plank and switch legs. Flick the floor away. Reach to the sky, stay squared up, and pull yourself through. One more time on each side. Pressing up, hips square to the floor, heel pushing towards down, tailbone long. Pull back through last time. Flick and point. Stay square. Straight knees-ish. Back through to center. Knees connect. And come on down.
Repeating a siza sit for one more time. Let's extend those hips to that tall planking position. Give it a check. Squeeze your butt cheeks and wear those rib cages onto the hips. Then untuck those toes, hands or no hands. Transition to that toe squat. As Lauren said, let's try to find those heels. And if you stand up a little bit, that's great. Can you find super low? From there, stand through. From there, balance on those toes. Hold for a couple seconds. Slowly return heels to the ground, knees over toes. Then peel those heels up, pushing down. And then extend the hips back to the tall kneel and returning to the floor. We play with our strength here, and right now we're going to the zoo. Walk around like an elephant. In this elephant, apply Lauren's cues from the down dog. We have the tailbone that's tilted up, heels that are pressing down to the floor. The last cue I want you to think about as you walk around in your elephant is using your hand to drive the action at the shoulder. Rather than lifting with a shrug, press through the floor to articulate strength from the fingertips to your core. So as Lauren starts here, we're in that down dog position and then taking one arm and then the opposite leg as a step. Push through the floor like that first knuckle push-up drill we often do, and that your heel of the hand, then the callus, then the fingertips leave. Heel, callus, fingertips, leave. Heel, callus, fingertips, leave. Lauren's walking backwards, let's do that too. And this time it's the same. It's the heel, the callus, and then finish with the fingertips like we're shooting a free throw, Lauren. Last one or two.
I'm really good at those.
Last one or two. And then nice and easy, extend those hips to tall. We're supposed to be on the floor, so stay down there. If you are with Lauren down there, you did the A+ thing. And then here, maybe if we're standing, let's just do our sizes sit thing. And now, Lauren, what's up?
Let's lie down on our backside. For now, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, arms are extended out beside you, palms up. Chin is tucked. Now, let's take a couple breaths here and think about that low back and where it is. It should be in that neutral place, not ramming into the floor, not arching. Let's keep that position as we progress here. First progression, head, shoulders, lift off the floor to connect your ribs to your hips and use your core. Let's hold this for a couple seconds. 3, 2, and then easy off. We'll be adding on each time. Feel free to stay with the first progression as we go ahead. Here we go. Head, shoulders, leave the floor, connecting ribs to hips, bracing core. If you'd like a little more, let's take a single leg off the floor, bringing it towards our chest, and then tap down and switch. Let's keep our toes pointed as we do this and alternate for about one more each side, maintaining that hollow body shape. And to finish, can we bring both feet off the floor, knees come up towards over hips, and just hold for 4, 3, 2, and then easy down. What?
That was almost a nice and easy, controlled. I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't say that. That's okay.
All right.
Let's flip over and we'll visit a different animal.
You got it. That crow. So for the crow, Lauren will take her fingertips, place them down, and we're doing a flexed arm crow here, so feel free to let those elbows bend. Take those knees and place them nice and high up on those triceps, and work on that weight transfer as we slowly load through the wrists. Lauren's lifting one foot at a time here, and then perhaps lifting both and holding and breathing and going through that checklist of, yep, my fingertips are working, my elbows, yeah, we feel that nice connection at the knees. And then when you're feeling good, try to hang out in your squat in between sets. Then it's our turn next. Do this in this I go, you go way, where now it's up to us.
So Ian's hands will be down with those bent elbows, knees coming up as high as they can, and then shifting that weight and finding that balance point where you're able to balance in your crow-like position. This is a great drill to find how you use your hands in your handstands. So as you can see, his head will go towards the floor, and then he's using his fingers to help push him back. Ooh. So before he goes too
much
far.
On that one. Let's try that again. If you need to stand up and shake it out, please do so. But if you can, let's pull ourselves into that squat, chest up nice and high, and check out Lauren's little crow here. We're breathing throughout, clearly shaking, and fingertips turning white from applying that pressure to the floor. How are you doing at home? You have 2 feet on the floor still? Are you working on that single foot or the double? My turn.
All right,
fingertips down.
Let's practice that crow. Placing those hands down, bending those elbows a little bit, getting the knees nice and high. Knees nice and high there. Good. Finding that balance and then playing a little bit. Once you have the basics done, but stick to the basics before you do anything crazy. That is a good life lesson.
And we're up.
Actually, we should be down.
Okay.
We were going to do our hollow hold one more
hollow
time.
hold, Lauren.
So come on down to the floor.
Okay.
Lying on our back, we'll progress what we did last time. But again, feel free to keep those knees bent over top of the hips. Here we go. Arms are to the side, chin is tucked, neutral spine. First move, connecting the ribs and hips by lifting the head, shoulders off the floor. Then we'll take the feet and bring our knees towards over our hips with our toes pointed. Either staying in this position or extending away from center is going to make this harder. Whether you do it with 2 legs or 1 at a time, reaching away from center. I'm going to bring my arms towards overhead because it's handstand class and find that nice hollow body position. You can probably hear me shaking. As I squeeze my butt, hips and toes pointed, legs tight together. Breathing underneath that core. 4, 3, 2, pull everything to center and then relax down. Okay, I think it's time we can actually stand up.
All right.
So let's flip over, do a push-up up, and one last down dog hinge. Get those hamstrings all ready as we slowly make your way to tall. Nice. Whew.
Whether we call this a single leg deadlift or a little bit of baby air, let's play with our strength and work on that weight transfer to go from standing towards the floor. Maybe it looks like this. You could take your left step, transfer weight to it, and then nice and controlled, reaching towards the floor, and then pressing away, back up. Carry that other leg through, heel strike, nice and controlled, keeping the spine long, and then pressing through, back up to tall. Work on
That?
the NNC stuffs, and let's do it again. So as a group now, working on those baby airs. Let's do it, Lauren.
That same thing.
We'll take that step. Nice and control, reaching for the floor, and then up. Carry the other leg through, toe ball heel, weight transfer, accept the floor, and push away. Again, A+ efforts if we shrug those shoulders to start. So as Lauren takes her next step, she'll hide those ears and then push the floor away, just like in the wrist warm-up. Last one or two, look for a little bit of air. Is it possible to look for just that little bit of air now as a weight transfer? Nice. And then last one here. And to press. Right on. So, baby airs, we have that. What does that say there?
I don't know.
The step-in handstands.
Ian
So we're
wrote
working
it.
on those step-in handstands. Do you have that space on the wall to clear out for some wall stands? If not, make that ready. Let's hang out in that campfire squat one more time, as in a moment, we'll go back and forth between the wall stand and the campfire squat. Find your stance, slightly turned out. Push the feet into the ground to grow tall. That squeezes the butts and straightens those knees. Then pull the feet together without going anywhere at first, and hopefully that fires up those adductors. Then let it win as you pull in and bend those knees and keep that chest up high. At this place, just push and pull from rights to left as we go sliding and gliding here. Return yourself to center, drive down, cramp those glutes, and press up. For one more time here of that handstand step-in entry, work on the baby air. Little bit of air underneath the foot to improve that weight transfer. And as you go through this set, look to increase that amplitude or the height of your kick. Take it away, Lauren. Shrug those shoulders, awesome ribs to hips there, and then looking for a little bit of time in the air. Are you switching feet? Here, I'll alternate with the other leg, pressing the floor away, and start small as we come back down to the floor. Nice and graceful here. And perhaps last one or two reps here. Shrug the shoulders, accept the floor, and for the last time, and down. Finish like you could do it again, but now let's go to the wall and work on some of that strength and endurance. Are the wrists okay? Check in. If the wrists have had enough or need a little bit of a break, check out that high tension plank for as long as we're doing our wall stand. Today, we'll be working in 15-second intervals to start, representing a low value for us, and building towards 30 seconds, representing that high value. Ready to go? Mm-hmm. So Lauren,
Remember,
Lauren,
you could also plank, you can also elephant, bear crawl,
got it.
wall, what do we call that? Chesterfield handstand?
Yeah, and let us know those variations that you do at home so we can help you in your own practice. The clock has started. Pull down in a squat if you're with me. And if you're on that wall, it's already been 5 seconds. We're looking for about 10 seconds more. Work on those cues. Grip the floor, squeeze your butt cheeks, and press down to grow up. That's 15 seconds, Lauren. So for squatters, we'll stand. And for upside downers, right yourself back up.
Right yourself up. All right, Team Ian's going upside down here in 3, 2, for 15 seconds, and we're gonna be hanging out in our low squat. If you're upside down, you have that nice grip on the floor. pressing the floor away, bracing the core, and still breathing and reaching up to the sky for 3, 2, and then if you're squatting, let's drive in and out to stand back up. I didn't mean to say in and out. I meant to say down and out.
We'll give it a little bit of a break here before we go back to the wall, and let's integrate some of that size of sit. We'll go knees over toes, and then with the quad staying parallel, straighten out one leg. Then assemble in that high lunge. From here, the back leg will bend, the front leg will straighten, and we'll sit down into a squat. Then push off that back leg to resume that tall position forward. Repeat. Push forward through the front to contain that effort as we go towards the back, and then press back to stand. One more time. Accept that floor, toe, ball, heel in the back leg. Keep the front leg very straight, and then press through to tall and assemble those legs together. Back up if you need more room. Switch to the other side. So for me, that's my size of sit here. Then my left leg will go out front. Split the distance between both feet. Ooh, that's the same. I'm sorry. So here, my front leg will stay straight. The back leg will bend as we sit into that squat plie, and then load off the back, pushing forward. Toe ball, heel in the back leg will bend, front leg is straight, and then push forward to tall. Toe ball, heel in the back, always controlled, and then press off the load and assemble those feet together. Add the shake and the wiggle. From here, Lauren will approach 20, 25 seconds, somewhere in that middle zone as we work towards approaching 30. So if you're with Team Lauren here, in 3, 2, 1, and go. And Team Ian, let's get in the squat. Maybe a little bit wider than usual. Whether we call that our sumo or our goddess. Time flies when you're upside down. That's already been 10 seconds. Really quickly approaching our 15. Lauren's gonna work for 5 more seconds here. Breathing, pointing those toes, pressing those hands down to stand up. And then we'll assemble tall, wiggle it all together, and switch out to the wall.
Team Ian, 20 seconds on that wall. In 3, 2, and here you go. Upside down there for about 20 seconds. We're in that wider stance. Let's think a little bit about tucking under and pulling ourselves down. As we hang out here, we could shift a little bit side to side or just stay in center. Team Ian has about 5 more seconds here where you're pressing the floor away, keeping that hollow position and growing. Dismount safely, press to tall, and gently shake it out.
Awesome. Giving the side profile, the last time we worked on this squat, we stood up and down, the leg out front. This time, I'd like us to work on that hip extension, that the angle of the leg out front is complemented by the angle in the upper body, and then we'll push through. So, size of sits to start, knees over toes, straighten one leg out, and then transfer the weight between two. From here, it's that original position as Lauren's showing here. If you feel safe, button your rib cage down to those hips and extend those hips forward. Then load up off that back leg, pushing forward. Accept the floor toe ball heel. Squat first with that perpendicular body to the floor, and then extend as to complement again that leg line in the front with the upper body. Load off the back, carry the leg through. My body says 2 is just kind of nice for that. Switching if I can get that leg the right way here. Knees over toes, it's my right leg forward. Split the distance between the 2 feet. Then from there, the front leg straightens, the back leg bends, and then we're trying to extend through those hips. Hold for a second longer, and then press off the back to come forward. Toe ball heel in the back, sit like a squat first, and then try to stay at that level. Oh, I need my front foot down there, Ian, as we extend those hips, push off the back, and assemble together. This set will represent, again, that highest, most strength endurance set for today's practice, as Lauren goes back to the wall for 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Maybe that's 1, 2, 3 for you. For us, that's more along that 10, 20, 30. And as Lauren goes up in 3, 2, take your time, work on that strength, find your line. You're good. Go for it. Now, what about a narrow squat for those who are squatting? So size of style here, knees over toes. Can we keep those heels flat and the sternum high? Take time, stay there or stand up. Check on the clock. Lauren has 10 more seconds to go. The knees are over the toes if we're squatting, and they're pointed if you're in that handstand. In 3, 2, let's all stand together. Come down to that handstand and switcheroo. Last time here at the 30-second mark.
All right, Team Ian's going upside down or doing whatever activity for about 30 seconds in 3, 2, and we're up. Don't really know what was happening while I was upside down, but we're gonna practice our knees towards over our toes. For now, just keeping those heels heavy and maybe slowly sinking a little bit and a little bit and a little bit lower. And then once you're at your safe low, pressing up out of that. Ian has another 10 seconds, and we'll try that again. Slowly sinking, keeping our heels as heavy as possible as we get as low as possible. 3, 2, and then press to tall. Nice.
Awesome.
And shake it out.
The shakes. Let's return to that squat variation for one more time here today. Does it feel safe to lean back? Making sure that the core on the front is activated to really support and protect the lumbar spine. Knees over toes, single leg front, and then just split the distance and find the nice high lunge. From here, push that front leg into the ground as we sit back, and then connect ribs to hips as we extend in our lean. Then load up the back leg, pushing through. Final time on this side. Toe ball heel in the back, pulling down on the front to stay grounded, and then extend those hips. Hold for a second or two longer, then push off the back, assembling together. Make some room. Same thing other side. Knees over toes. Switch the leg that's out front. High lunge stance. From here, push the front leg forward into the ground. Sit in the squat, and then extend those hips, supporting the core to help support the back. Then load up off that back leg, pushing through. And for the last time, toe ball heel, push the front leg into the ground, sit back, and then those hip extensions here, cramp up those glutes, and then press through and assemble to tall. One more time on the wall. We went up that ladder to 30, and then we're gonna go back down to about that 15 seconds. A measure that you could do again and again. Please squat, keep that up. And if you want to know some other ideas as the wall, go ahead, Lauren, as that wall might be too challenging. 3, 2, that could include, again, 15 to 30 second sets of your elephant, or your high plank, or those nice down dog flicks. Team Lauren there has 5 more seconds. If you're squatting, take a breath, and then come back up to tall. You're done, Lauren.
Oh, he didn't tell me.
Nice. Shaking it out.
Nice.
So then team me in here, last time on that wall, or your modification as you need.
All right, Team Ian, go ahead in 3, 2, 15 seconds there. Whether you're crawling, planking, whatever you do, finish with strength here, or come out down to your low squat. If you're in your low squat this time, can we shift a little bit side to side, sending those knees towards over toes? And if you're upside down, it is time for you to come down. Drive down and away to stand up and shake.
And the shake.
Nice.
Often I try to wrap things up here and get to the floor and work on the core. And Lauren says, well, what about one more time of that ultimate handstand challenge? So add the shake, take your time and set a goal. And here, for about 1 minute, we're trying to hit our ultimate goal of the minute handstand. The performance-enhancing tips of tucking in shirts, taking your breath.
And warning you that we've not frozen. We've just gone quiet, holding our handstand.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
So we'll do that on that 9, Lauren, because it's easy. Look at that analog clock. In 3, 2, and with control, we're up. Oh, that wasn't a good one. I feel spatially challenged here today. Here we go. I'm going to try it again.
Nice. As you're finishing up or continuing on your minute of fun, we have about 15 more seconds here. You can see Ian's nice line there as he reaches up towards noon on the clock, keeping that rib to hip connection and the shoulders elevated, and always still breathing for another. And that's been that minute of fun.
Again, if the space isn't right, if you're finding yourself all over the place, take that extra second, check in, and more than likely be able to find that strength required to do the move. Like Lauren's doing here, let's take our time as we get to the floor and continue to work on some gentle splits. To do that, let's get on that elbow, assemble in that 99 position through the lunge, and then straighten out the front leg, press through to a tall position. Cue it so that kneecap is pointing towards the ceiling and the toe in the front is pointed. This time, at the back leg, take the same hand combination to the lateral aspect of the knee. Sitting tall, using the other hand as an outrigger, lift this knee out to the side, off the floor, or at least try, because you're presenting nice challenging resistance through that hand.
So you're not actually going to lift it?
Well, you're going to try.
But if 5. You can lift it?
4. If you can lift it, press harder with the hand, and then relax. Press those hips forward, straighten out the toes. Where's that kneecap here? And same effort in the back leg. With control, lift up, or at least try, and hopefully that lateral butt musculature here is politely fired up. And relax. Now, straddle the leg in the front with those 2 hands, and try to lift the foot off the back. Nice and controlled as we go here. Oh, mine doesn't work so much. Lauren's creating a little bit of separation there, but just that intention and effort to try, holy cow, on that hip holster. Relax the effort. We'll try that one last time here. We're sitting tall. Perhaps finding the elbow is a nice modification for sure.
Just letting the cramp go.
And try to lift up that back foot. Personally, mine doesn't move very much. I have to try a lot, but I can feel that energy fire in the hip as I try. Relax, find the elbow, bend the front knee. Relax for a second, and then let's switch. So we're on our elbow or sideline here, pushing the floor away so we're strong through the core. Then we'll transition to the tall sit. Straighten out that front leg, get it just right here, and if allowed, point the front toe. Then the hand to that lateral aspect of the knee, and vision lifting away from the floor. But don't really let it. Feel that tension, preload as we will for our kettlebell classes too, and feel the energy in that hip holster, and then relax. We'll do that twice. Intermittent breaks here. Let things check in and say it's okay. Final one, hand to that lateral knee, and lift away from the floor, or at least try. Feel that love-hate relationship on the lateral butt cheek here, and then relax. I use 2 hands out front here just to help with that balance, and now I'll be trying to lift that back foot off the floor. Trying, at least thinking about it, mine doesn't move, to say again, and nice, and that's off. Relax. One more time here with that break in between. The knee stays heavy. We're rotating that femur in on the hip as to think about lifting the foot in the back. For 5, 4, 3, and then coast that away. Find the elbow. Bend those knees. Anything else to finish there, Lauren?
Oh, yeah, we got to finish with a little core, of course.
All right.
Core, of course. sitting up tall, because we're already here. Let's do our single leg lifts. They're not gonna move to our splits. We're just gonna single leg lift, lift. So that means sitting up tall, toes are pointed, kneecaps pointing towards the ceiling. Light outrigger. Let's first, before we go anywhere, pull the leg into the socket, then lift it up and hold for 4, 3, 2, and down. Other side, pull it in first, and then lift it. 4, 3, 2, and down. Continue on singles, in and up, toe pointed, knee straight, and tap, in and up, 3, 2, and down. We're gonna do 2 more if you want extra. Let's take both legs, up and hold, 3, 2, and down. One more time, in and up, 3, 2, and down.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Feels like the core has been worked, the wrists, yeah, they've had enough work too for today. So carry on in the garden or at play, any way that you want. And thank you very much for joining us here today. The link letter is written, ready to be delivered next Monday. Thank you for your membership. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the link letter, check it out, barsandbells.com/membership for all the access to content online, archive, and live like today on Saturdays. Thanks again for joining. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauren.
Together we stay strong. We hope to train soon and advocate for you to take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.